Welcome class. We are now working on one-step equations tonight. Your goal is to isolate the variable, and sometimes that variable might be on the right side of the equal sign, sometimes it may be on the left. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you locate your equal sign and then determine what to undo. So when you see addition, you're going to undo it by subtraction. When you see subtraction, you're going to undo by addition, so on and so forth. So we're going to look at number one in particular. The variables on the right side, I want to eliminate a subtraction of 15 by doing the inverse operation. So I'm going to add 15 to the right, and if I do that to the right, I shall do it on the left. That will eliminate the 15s on the right. It will give you an addition of 21 and 15, giving us a total of 36. Bring down your equal sign straight down, bring down the x that is left over on the right side. Finish it up by putting x on the left, because it is just good math etiquette to always put the variable on the left side, and we can simply do that by using the reflexive property. Number 4, let's take a look at that one. Notice that y is on the left side of the equal sign, so we're going to eliminate the 10.5, and that 10.5 is being added on, so to undo that we are going to subtract the 10.5. And since we subtracted from the left, we should subtract from the right. Let's equal that up. On the left side, the 10.5 got eliminated. We're going to bring down the y on the left, bring the equal sign straight down again. And on the right side, the negative 9.4 minus a 10.5. Find the sum of that, and you'll end up with negative 19.9. The variable's already on the left, so we are in good math etiquette form already. There's our final answer. I'm going to jump to number 9, because in this problem, notice the variable is on the right side. We're going to eliminate the 3/8. And notice the fractions. We've got to use our fraction rules to eliminate the 3/8. We're going to subtract, but we need a common denominator in order to eliminate the 3/8 from the negative 2/5 that's on the left side. So I'm going to start by renaming both fractions with a common denominator. That common denominator between 5 and 8 should be 40. So I'm just going to rename the negative 2/5. Using a common denominator of 40 should be negative 16 40ths. On the right side, I'm going to rename the 3/8 with a common denominator of 40, which would make that numerator 15. So as you can see, all I've done is rename the two fractions with a common denominator, and this will allow me to subtract off the 15 40ths that's on the right side. So again, subtract off 15 40ths from the right, you're going to do it to the left. Big equal sign. Notice I've been able to eliminate the 15 40ths. I'm going to bring my equal sign straight down. P is left over on the right. So a negative 16 40ths, take away 15 40ths, will leave you with negative 31 40ths. And I'm looking at that value that cannot be simplified any further, but remember we want to put our final answer in good math etiquette, so I'm going to rewrite this using the reflexive property so that P is on the left side with negative 31 40ths on the right. We're going to move on. I'm going to flip my page, and you are going to look at number 11. Notice number 11 has negative 1.5 being multiplied by the letter B. And in order to undo a multiplication, we're going to do division. So to show division, I'm simply going to use a fraction bar to eliminate the negative 1.5. So divide both sides by negative 1.5. That will give me a positive b. Bring down the equal sign. And 7.5 divided by a negative 1.5 is a negative 5. Take a look at number 14. I have the fraction of 2/3 n, which is saying that 2/3 is multiplied by n. So the way we're going to eliminate 2/3 is by way of dividing 2/3 off of the n. But because we are working with fractions, if you divide by a fraction, it will eventually turn into multiplying by its reciprocal. So to shortcut this, I'm going to multiply the fraction 2/3 by its reciprocal of 3/2. So whatever I do on the left, remember, share on the right. The 2/3 multiplied by 3/2 on that left side eliminates to as inverses, leaving you with the letter n on the left. Bring down the equal sign. On the right side, I can multiply straight across and then reduce, or I could actually do a cross cancellation to make my fraction smaller. I'm going to go ahead and just multiply straight across. Negative 8 times 3 is a negative 24. 3 times 2 is going to give me 6. And then I'm going to finish that by simplifying negative 24 6 to a negative 4. So remember to eliminate fractions when being multiplied by a variable, multiplied by its reciprocal. One more example on number 16, take a look. A is being divided by 6.4. In order to undo division, should be multiplication. So I'm going to use the times symbol, the dot symbol, to show my multiplication of 6.4 on the left side. I'm going to do it again on the right side. In fact, that looks a little messy. I'm going to actually use parentheses to show that I'm going to multiply. And when you multiply 6.4, where it's been divided by 6.4, again, those are inverses of one another. That leaves you with a on the left. Bring down the equal sign. And when you multiply negative 1.5 by 6.4, you should have an answer of negative 9.6. As we continue on to the handout, you'll notice that we've got some problems, review problems, with some distribution, with fractions and negative numbers. So just a quick review, I'm going to take a look at number 4. I noticed that the negative 7x is on the back end, and in order to distribute, I need to distribute from the back end. 10x times negative 7x is going to be a review question, totaling, when we multiply, negative 70x squared, and a negative 1 times a negative 7x is plus 7x. I'm going to do one more practice problem on distribution with a fraction such as number 8. And number 8 is multiplying by the fraction of 3/4 x. So 3/4 x times 8x is going to give me 24 over 4x squared. And remember, 24 over 4 should give me 6x squared. And then if I distribute 3/4 x by 2, I'm going to end up with a fraction of 3 over 2. And last but not least, looking at number 10, I'm looking to identify terms, like terms, coefficients, and constant terms. So this is all vocabulary review. So all I'm going to do is just simply list, just like it says to, identify. In problem number 10, I'm looking at the terms of negative 2x, 3x, 5x, and negative 1. There are 4 terms in problem number 10. There are like terms as well. Remember like terms? there's only actually a pair of like terms, and that one pair would be the 3x that actually can be paired up with 5x. And those are the only like terms that are available in problem number 10. Coefficients, there's actually 3. There's a coefficient of -2, a coefficient of 3, and a coefficient of 5. Remember just to list. And constant terms, I'm looking at the number -1. Now I'd like you to go back, review again. You will notice I'm going to highlight some of these problems that I would like you to try for your homework. We're going to backtrack. I'm going to put an asterisk, or I should say I'm going to highlight problem number 2. I'm going to highlight number 6, number 8. I'm going to highlight number 12, 15, and number 17. I'm going to flip one more time. I would like you to practice problem number 2 on the section with distribution, and problem number 6 in distribution. And then on number 12, go ahead and give it a try. Go ahead and identify the terms, like terms, coefficients, and constant terms. Remember, if there's any questions that you have them ready and available. Write them down as you are going through this lesson. Good luck.